everybody. Welcome to the edition of Humor Mill TV. I have to first say I'm very excited about today's show because at the end of the day, you don't get the chance to interview some of your favorite people. This person I'm about to interview and I'm about to put on is a comedian who's been in the game for years. I don't even know how many years, actually. It's been since the late 80s, early 90s. She's a friend of mine. She's been in Def Comedy Jam. She's toured with Chris Tucker. She's toured with Martin Lawrence. She's toured with a lot of women in the comedy game. She's been in a lot of films. She's done everything. And now she is a film producer, director, editor, starred in her own new project. Her name is Miss Melanie Comarcho. Melanie, how are you doing today?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing good. I'm fully vaccinated, so that counts for something, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it does, because you know how black folks don't really want to go get vaccinated. You know what I mean?
If you want to travel, and my job is traveling. So right. I said, let me go on and do this. I don't want to get sick. And I don't surely want to die. I mean, I saw DL pass out. I saw Rodney on a ventilator. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get me a shot.
That's smart.
And I'm scared of needles. Anybody know me? No, I'm scared of needles. I don't have not one tattoo on my body. I don't like them. I do the blood test once a year, but this time I said, no, let's do this.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So we've known each other, so we talk about your stand-up comedy all the time when we talk.
And let me clear up something for you. I started doing comedy in 1992.
Okay, there you go.
And I started my first Def Comedy Jam in January 93.
That's fast, Melanie. You know that, right?
I couldn't believe it. I didn't even know what Def Jam was when I taped Def Jam. I did not have cable, so I was not watching. I did not see the first season until after I taped and got enough money to go get me some cable. But I didn't. When people said, girl, you just booked Def Jam, I was like, okay, yeah. All I knew was I was going to New York, and I was happy with that part. So, yay.
Wow, that's a huge accomplishment. And then later on, you touring with Chris Tucker, you toured with Martin Lawrence, you're touring with
Cat Williams, Maxwell.
You toured everything.
I did the Ladies' Night Out. I was the original host of the Queens of Comedy. Really? And then I did the Bad Girls of Comedy tour. Then just recently, we did Girls' Night Out.
Melanie, your credits are very, very, very long. What will you take away from doing comedy so long? I mean, because you could write a book, and I'm sure people come up to you and say, hey, how do I get in comedy? I'm sure they say that to you.
Oh, yeah. I just say, I didn't take no classes or anything like that. So I've been a comedian all my life. So, in high school, and then once somebody told me I could make money, what? Because I was an electronic technician at Hughes Aircraft before I started. I got laid off the same day I taped my first Def Comedy Jam. So I said, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, I guess.
Well, that was a blessing. That's a blessing. But now, the reason why we're talking is you sent me something a couple of days ago that blew my mind. I could not even believe you was making a film. I didn't even know you was doing it. You wrote, you produced, you directed, you starred in a brand new film. First, tell everybody what's the name of the film and what the film's about.
The film is called Boosters LA, and it's about a group of thieves. They stealing clothes, and the head nigga in charge, who nobody knows but me, I'm the middleman, is just trying to secure enough money to get his own legitimate store. And he does that at the end. So it's just a journey through the life of boosters in LA. So anybody that's been to LA, that lives in LA, you're going to see a lot of stuff that you recognize. I got everything in there, from the Marathon clothing store to Kobe Bryant murals to the Crenshaw and B&R and Randy's Donuts, all the hood trademarks, the landmarks, the hood landmarks are in this film. And then I reached out to my friends, and every one of them, just about everybody that I asked said yes. I did get 3 no's, 2 no's, 3 no's, and 1 didn't show up. So it's okay, because everything that's supposed to be happens. Right. So I ended up getting people like Earthquake was a replacement to the person that I really wanted. And he called, he said, yeah, and no hesitation, came, shot the scene, did an absolutely fantastic job. Tiffany is in the film. Oh, I love that girl to death. She filmed a scene and said, look, I got to go do this movie. And I'm like, oh man, okay, well, let me try to write you out of the movie in this scene. So I can have you, either go to jail or something so I can get you out. And so we shot that one day. And then she called me back a few days later and said, look, I'm finished with that film. If I'm available, if you need me. I was like, what?
Really?
So when Tiffany calls, you reschedule some shit. What, Tiffany? And Girl Trip hadn't even dropped yet. So that's how long I shot this film. Started in November of 2016.
Wow.
It's been one long journey. My footage was in limbo for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get my footage from the DP. I had to go to an attorney because once he saw Tiffany blowing up, I guess they decided, oh, well, let's get some more money. And so I had to get an attorney to get my damn footage. And then I still didn't get it all. And then just one thing after another. But it stuff that hicked up ended up giving me way better stuff because I had filmed another comedian for this Uber scene and it came out too dark according to my editors. So I had to shoot it again. And Jay by this time had been diagnosed with cancer. So he was like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm not doing it today. I can't. And then he would say, I'm gonna do it. And then that come nighttime, he'd be like, I can't make it. I ain't gonna do it. So then I said, okay, I get it. I called John Witherspoon and John was like, can you come tomorrow? I was like, I will be there. So I ended up getting a bigger name and I got John Witherspoon's last film ever.
So can you tell everybody who's all in the film because you're dropping names. You didn't.
Everybody that's in the film. Let me see. Tiffany Haddish, John Witherspoon, Earthquake, Bruh Man, AJ Johnson, Kim Whitley, Sherry Shepherd, Coco Brown, Courtney Black. Oh God, the list goes. It's over 20 comics in this film, including myself. Boogie B, Eric Blake. It's just the list goes on and on. And then I had filmed this scene that is like a party scene at the club. And I had a great singer. She was absolutely fantastic, Madam D. But then I was doing this play and ended up at the play I was on, the guy that was managing Angela, Winbush was also Misha Lay's manager. And I was like, oh, cool. So I got his number. And when I got back home, I was like, you think Misha Lay will do it? And he said, let me ask her. And he told her who it was. And she said, hell yeah, I'll do it for Melanie. So Misha Lay performs No More Lies at the concert in the movie. And I'm just so blessed, so blessed. I'm so happy how it turned out. I say, chase your dreams. I had one comedian tell me that this wasn't going to be shit no matter who I had in it. I was like, what? Who would say something like that to you? But that was the voicemail she left. So I've been on a mission to prove her ass wrong, and I did. Let me tell you another thing I did. I reached out on Instagram for all of unsigned artists to send me the music for my movie. Boy, did they turn up. Wow. You heard the title song, Boostin'?
Yeah.
That girl, Honey Blunt, tore it up. She made me 3 versions of the Boostin' song. And I would just tell them what the scene was about and they would make the song, get money. Oh, it's just so hot, so hot. The music, we ain't had a soundtrack like this. I mean, this music, the closest I could say to the soundtrack would be the New Jack City soundtrack. You remember New Jack City?
Of course.
Back in the 90s, how they had, all the movies had them hot ass soundtracks. Yeah. Well, this one does too. Wow. So you're going to bounce and laugh throughout this whole damn movie. Hour and 31 minutes of funny stuff. I promise you that.
That's dope. I hear, I saw the trailer and everything else. I could easily see this being one of those comedy cult classics like Friday, because Friday had everybody in it.
That's my dream, for this to be a cult classic. Now, nobody has done a story. There's been movies where there's a little boosting in it, but in the 90s in LA, boosting was big business. I mean, there was houses set up all over LA that you go to and get whatever you want. Whatever was on the rack, half the price or whatever that tag was on the rack. That's what you would get. And you can tell them what you want and where you saw it at. And the niggas, I don't know how they walk out the mall with a full leather suit, but by Tuesday, that suit was there, ready for you to purchase. I'm like, wow, who can do that? I'd be scared to death. Now, I never posted, but I sure supported their ass. I done bought plenty of hot clothes in the 90s. I ain't gonna lie. I
That's
know
funny.
everybody did everything from Jordans to whatever was hot then. I mean, I had some what they call it, oh God, FUBU. I had some FUBU in my closet and it was hot. I'm buying hot clothes from black designers. I need to be ashamed, but I couldn't afford the real shit. So I bought the hot shit and I was fly to death. So I wanted to bring that to this big screen. And it's crazy because once I did it and somebody had, was interested, they was like, hey, that's a pretty good concept. So immediately I ran to the Copyright of America and copy wrote Boosters LA, New York, and Atlanta. So once this pops, I want to do them all. I want to do them all and bring all the music. And I know the comics on all the comics in New York, and I know all the comics in Atlanta. So let's do this. Y'all got to show us some love when it come out now. I need y'all to make sure y'all click on and stream wherever it's going. Wherever it is, you will know soon.
Melanie, please tell us how you even learn how to direct, because directing is not something that comedians know how to do. How do you learn how to do that?
Well, I was blessed because Chris Tucker is like a brother to me. Mm-hmm. So I sat on the set of Rush Hour 1 and 2, and I watched Brett Ratner do it. Okay. So I was like, oh wow, I can do that. And then I did a lot of learn as you go, a lot of trial and error and stuff. And, you got to know your camera shots and everything. So I learned all that. And then when I ran out of money, I couldn't get anybody to help me. And I know every big producer in Hollywood, I got their cell phone numbers. And all of them was like, well, good luck with that. First, they said, I'd help you. And then once they saw I got it done, they was like, well, good luck with that.
Wow.
Really? Oh, wow. So we on COVID. I'm doing nothing. I can't work. I go to YouTube University. It taught me how to edit, how to score, how to color, how to do the audio mixing. And I did all that shit myself. Wow. YouTube University. Anything you want to know, you can learn it from there. Matter of fact, a lot of you men need to go on YouTube University. They got some videos on how to eat pussy because you don't know what the hell you're doing. There's like 5 of them. Just watch 2, please, please. Anything you want to know, YouTube University. And guess what? No student loans. You ain't got to pay back nothing. And it's like you can ask YouTube anything and 10 videos will pop up on every subject. So I suggest, because before I went to YouTube University, I hired 3 editors. I was out like $6,000, $7,000 in editors. And it just was not what I was looking for. I was like, they had brownstones. I don't know if you've been to LA, but ain't no brownstones here. That's New York. Right. So I took all that shit out and put all LA transitions. I was like, oh, hell no. And then there was a lot of scenes that I, as a comedian, the fun. Mm-hmm. And they really didn't. They tried. And I give them credit for that. But I knew the funny. So once I learned how to edit, I was like, oh, no, let me use this piece instead of that piece. And that's exactly what I did.
Right. So you got a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor too. You could probably make some stuff that
I put them in the end. A lot of it's in the outtakes at the end of the movie. So you'll see some stuff where we flubbed our lines or whatever. Right. There's even a scene where I fall on the floor.
Really?
And, he was chasing me and I end up falling on the floor. So I had to leave that in there too.
So what was the hardest thing you had to do? I mean, because, to direct, to produce, to even make the trailer, to put it together, do the score, the coloring. What's the hardest thing that you was able to do that you were so happy and accomplished besides creating the film? What was the hardest thing?
Coloring. The coloring of this film was a monster. And they did an excellent job. Don't get me wrong. They had the camera set on whatever. But like the John Witherspoon scene, we're in a car at night. And he had a light on, so it was too bright. Trying to dim that down to make it look like we inside of a car at night was the hardest scene to do. Everything else was pretty easy. I didn't have to touch the Michelet scene at all. They did an excellent job filming that and the color. And remember, halfway through my movie, my DP died, so I had to get another DP to finish the movie. And he did an excellent job too.
For those who sitting at home, can you explain to people what the DP actually means and does? For those sitting at home who didn't understand.
The director of photography. He's the guy that has the camera that has to make sure that all the settings is right. My DP also does the sound. So they got to make sure that the sound and the focus, the shots are right, you know, because you got to do a wide shot, a close up, over the shoulder. There's so many different shots, and I wanted to get every single one of them so I could have stuff to transition to.
Right.
You know, you don't want to shoot straight camera. And so we had like 2 cameras in a lot of scenes. That was the most I had, was 2. Most of it was a 1 camera shoot, but there was a lot of 2 camera shoots. And then he had a drone, so we got some drone footage as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I also went online and purchased some drone footage. You can get drone footage online and on YouTube, but there's a lot of different websites that you can purchase drone footage. And I also did that. I tried to make it as beautiful and funny as possible. And I did that. Right. I got Nipsey Hussle. I got so lucky because I had a meeting on Slauson a couple of weeks ago. This guy wants me to get into this gambling thing that he has. And as I'm going down Slauson, I see Nipsey Hussle has a new mural, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I called my cameraman. Hey, I need you to get over here on Slauson. I don't have to be here. I just need you to drive down the street and shoot it. He sent it to me that night. So now not only do I have the Marathon clothing store in here, I got the Nipsey Hussle, what do they call it?
Mural. You got it.
Mural.
Yeah.
I got the Nipsey Hussle mural and a Kobe Bryant mural in here. So I'm trying to make sure all the LA hot spots are in this film.
Right. You know what?
And then we shot a scene at the Savoy. Frank knows the Savoy. Savoy was the hottest club in LA for a minute. I don't know if they're going to open back up or what, but I brought comedy to the Savoy, and boy, was them shows hot. Wasn't they, Frank? Yeah. I got Kevin Hart and everybody to come through for me. So the club held about 400. We let them in free, made the money off the food and the liquor. And boy, it was packed to the max every week. Every Tuesday night. Remember that, Frank? You came a couple times.
No, I came more than a couple times, but you know, gas was something else, boy, from where I was coming from. You know what I mean? So, woo.
Yeah. And I was on tour with Kat at the time, and Kat was like, "Why are you still doing that shit?" Because I love what I do. That's why I was doing it. It wasn't about the money. It was about the love. I love what I'm doing, and I'm hosting. I love it. I love it.
So we talk about your stand-up special you're doing and everything else. Can you give us, you know, your fans are going to be sitting out there saying, knowing that you did a film for a while. Is there any update you can tell everybody else about your stand-up special that you want to do or you're doing? Or
when this movie drops, I'm going to shoot my hour special. It's time. I had an hour once on Showtime is who I shot it for. They ended up selling it to Netflix after they used it, and now it's not on neither one. So it's time for my next hour. And boy, I got, you know, a year off. Just imagine the shit I done wrote. Yeah. So I can't wait. We got so much material on COVID and just life in general. Right. So I'm about to shoot this next hour. And once the movie drops, I'm going to shoot the Boosters comedy series because I have over 20 comics in this film. And they are all funny as hell. And the world needs to see them. So that'll probably be on Humor Mill TV, you guys. Look out for it.
You know, I love that. I love that. So any plans on where this thing's going to be distributed? You can tell people where we can see it. Any updates yet? Anything you want to tell us?
I'm trying to get it distributed. I'm looking at a lot of people. I mean, it's Amazon, Netflix, and Apple TV. So let's see who's got the money. See what they're talking about. And as soon as I get a distribution deal, I'm going to make sure I come back to the Humor Mill to let them know all about it and let you guys know.
Then Melanie, thank you so much. Thank you for taking out the time. We really appreciate you. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you, you know, so we can know.
Follow me at Melanie Comarcho at YouTube so you can see the trailer and like it. Like that button and share. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. It's the same name, Melanie Comarcho. Is my name up on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Melanie Comarcho at Facebook, at Twitter, at Instagram, it's the official Melanie Comarcho on YouTube. So official Melanie Comarcho on YouTube, Melanie Comarcho on everything else. You guys follow me and stay safe out there and get vaccinated.
There you go. Thank you, Melanie, for taking out the time. We appreciate y'all. Y'all see this? Yeah, that's Melanie Comarcho. I'm Frank Holders, episode of Humor Mill TV. We're going to keep you updated on what's going on with this film. You know, I'm excited to see it. I hope you all are too. Thanks again, Melanie. We appreciate you. Take care.
Thank you.